Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com with your morning market outlook for Thursday, March 19th, 2026. In the pre-market this morning, things are fairly quiet when we're looking at the stock index futures. A lot more volatility in the world of commodities, where we've got European oil up over $5, North American oil up $1. The big headline, of course, is going to be gold down over $200. But if you look below, silver is down more as a percentage than gold is at the moment. So a lot of volatility in the silver market this morning. Now, looking at the major index ETFs, starting off with the iShares for the TSX 60, we haven't taken out the recent low just yet. The Vanguard Canada ETF came right down to the recent low, while the Dow broke the recent low and has also broken the 200-day moving average. Now, looking at the S&P 500, we did trade down to the 200-day moving average yesterday. And then looking at the equal weighted, we traded down to the recent low as well. Looking at the NASDAQ 100, we're still in a range here. That hasn't changed. Still looking for a breakdown below $593.75. We may get that today. Then looking at the NASDAQ 100, we still haven't broken the 200-day moving average. Again, that could act as support on Thursday. We'll have to see if the market will use that as an area of support, or if it breaks. If it breaks, of course, that is additionally bearish for the market. There is the equal weighted NASDAQ, no change there. Then looking at the Russell 2000, we haven't taken out the recent low just yet. Looking at the VIX moved up yesterday. We're talking about the fact that it's going to take more than just a sell signal on our charts to really move the market. If you look at the next price target is 1875, and that's getting pretty close to the 200-day moving average. So I think we really need the VIX down below that level before we can really say the coast is clear. Looking at the world of commodities, crude oil moved higher yesterday. Gasoline made a new high on Wednesday. Natural gas came back. Looking at the stocks in Canada, energy stocks were up 0.78%. In the US, they were up just 0.14%. Remember, there's a big drag from the rest of the market yesterday, so it was really hard to see energy stocks continue to move higher with the selling pressure that we saw, especially in the world of commodities. There's copper moving down sharply on Wednesday. Copper stocks continuing to move lower. The GLD moved lower yesterday. Of course, it's going to continue to move lower today. There's the GDX dropping over 6%. Juniors dropped nearly 6%. And in Canada, gold stocks were down 7% on the day. Looking at the world of silver, silver was down yesterday. It's going to be down again today. Silver stocks, the big caps, the small caps, both moving lower on Wednesday. And then palladium and platinum also traded lower on Wednesday. Now, we've been watching the banking sector as we came into the Fed meeting, and so far have not got a positive response either before or after the Fed meeting. So here we are with the financial sector down over 1%, U.S. banks down over 1%, Bank of America down just a little under 1% on the day, and then Citigroup ended the day closing slightly higher, still not enough to give us a buy signal. That would happen on Thursday with a close above $109.48. Looking at the Canadian financials, they were down just under 1% yesterday. Canadian banks down just over 1%. We've got no joy yet for the Royal Bank. It traded up to the upper channel line for the past 2 days, but has not closed above it. And then looking at the TD Bank, similar situation, no joy yet for either of those banks. Looking at the world of transportation, the transportation ETF was down 1.22% yesterday. Jets down nearly 2%. American Airlines down just a little over 0.5% on the day. Air Canada was also down on the day, having an inside day, so no change there. Still in the channel, so mathematically there is a possibility for a buy signal on Thursday. Looking at Southwest, we're still holding the 200-day moving average. Delta, which popped the other day, it's come up to previous resistance. If you look back here in January, it was this line was support. Now we're looking at it as resistance. We also moved up to the 100-day moving average after breaking through the 200-day and stopped and into the flypaper channel. So that's probably all there is for now for Delta. Looking at the bond market, bonds have been selling off coming into the Fed meeting. And of course, lower bond prices means higher yields. So here we are looking at the TLT, the XBB, looking at emerging market bonds, looking at junk bonds. They were all heading lower. And of course, if they're heading lower, then bond yields are heading higher. Let's finish off this morning's presentation looking at some of the most actively traded stocks from Wednesday's trading action. There's NVIDIA closing below the lower channel line once again. No change in trend for Plug Power or SoFi. No change in trend for Ondas. There's Intel having an inside day on Wednesday. Then looking at Ford's still holding the recent low. No change there. Nokia down slightly on the day. No change in trend there. Bitmine, no change in trend there. And then looking at Micron making a new high for this move on Wednesday. And then looking at Tesla still trading in the channel, looking for a close on Thursday above $405.22. Looking at the TSX most actives and all the energy stocks held up very well yesterday, even though the market pulled down. So there's Canadian Natural Resources up slightly on the day. There's Baytech up slightly on the day. No joy for the gold stocks. There's B2 Gold gapping lower yesterday. There's Barrick gapping lower on Wednesday. Then a new high for Suncor. Whitecap Resources down 4 cents on the day. Then TELUS trading in the channel once again. So looking for a close above $18.50 on Thursday to give us a buy signal. There's Cenovus up on the day. No change there. No change for ARC Resources. And then Bitfarms still on a buy signal, no change there. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So since I started the presentation, stock index futures have moved lower. Commodities are still trending the way they were. Gold is down a little more. Crude oil is up a little more in the pre-market. So yesterday, nothing really happened. Yes, the markets were lower. There were really no changes in trend of any significance on Wednesday. So we're looking to see if we can break out of the range that we've been in. We're watching the NASDAQ closely to see if it takes out the recent lows. That'll be a negative tell for the market if that happens. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Friday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theyuptrend.com.